many of you remember the striped cat that sat on a tree, blowing rings of colored smoke and answering the questions of a little girl who fell down a rabbit hole? He once said, "Imagination, it's our only weapon in the war against reality. For better or for worse, imagination is the most powerful tool in a human's toolkit. The most unique trait of sapiens is their ability to create and believe fiction. While all other animals use their communication system to describe reality, sapiens use their communication system to create new realities and dwell in them. Fiction has laid the basis for all modern institutions, such as education, societies, caste, religion, etc. Now, I have a very personal connection with fiction. It is what I grew up listening to. It is the place where I found my best friends. As a child, I could sit with my mom for hours as she recounted for the 100th time how Krishna was a menace to the Gopikas and how a little boy's nose grew longer every time he lied, and the story of a little girl who braved a wolf to meet her sick old grandmother. For me, these were more than just mere stories. They were a source of comfort and happiness. I didn't stop with just listening to stories. In my head, I was Krishna, I was Pinocchio, and I was the Little Red Riding Hood. All I needed was a red cape, faith, trust, and just a little pixie dust. As you all might have noticed by now, I really did enjoy being in the spotlight, and the idea of being somebody else was fascinating for my 5-year-old brain. And that is how I fell in love with performing. I remember the very first time I went on stage. It was during my school annual day program. I can't recall the role I was playing, but I do remember very clearly exactly what I was feeling. I remember waiting nervously in the wings for my cue. I remember running onto the stage that was beautifully lit with the brightest lights. The lights were so bright I couldn't see beyond them. But I knew my father was out there somewhere taking pictures of me. And I also knew I had the huge responsibility of walking from one end of the stage to the other without falling down. And I did it. I was so happy I did it. I was satisfied. I felt accomplished. I had found my pixie dust. And all of this happened in the 9 seconds that I spent on stage. But it wasn't me that realized that I'd found my magic first. It was my mom. And this was reason enough for her to start supporting me into blossoming into the performer I am today. My journey begins with being enrolled in dance class when I was around 5 years old. In the few years that I was dancing, I got an opportunity to perform on various stages. But this dream of seeing me dance on stage as a professional was short-lived because I was drawn towards martial arts. The enormity of karate attracted me. In the 7 years that I practiced this art, the one thing that I learned was perseverance. I realized that I liked using my body as a vessel to tell my stories. I found freedom in using this body as an instrument to express myself. I also understood that my body may be fragile, but it is an instrument of endless limits and possibilities. Around this time, I was enrolled in theatre class. The whole idea of a theatre class was relatively new in this part of the world. This class fed the star in me exactly what I needed to become the superstar that my mom believed I could be. The first full-length feature play that I was a part of was called Rehearsal, and I played the character of LKK. We rehearsed every day for a little over a month. I used to come back home from school, drop my things, and rush to rehearsal because that was the most important part of my day. From LKK, I have grown as a person and performer, and I can identify 3 reasons for this growth. 1, my passion for the theatre and the stage. 2, my amazing set of teachers and mentors who were there with me every step of the way. And 3, my mom, my dad, and my sister. If not for these 3 variables, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you guys telling you how I got here. I consider myself very lucky because there was never a time in my life where I felt underappreciated. No matter how significant my actions were to me, there was always somebody to pat me on my back and say, "Hey, you did a good job." And this constant support has been instrumental in who I am today. I was always surrounded by people who found happiness in my growth, be it friends, family, or teachers. I believe that each and every one of us have a dream, a purpose, a reason to be put in this world. We don't have the power to choose our dream, but we do have the power to follow it. How many of us in this room actually have the courage to stop thinking about everything for a second and just focus on that one thing that makes us happy? Wear our combat boots, follow our heart, and maybe find our magic? Inside the child in each and every one of us lives or dies the truth about magic. I got lucky. When I found my pixie dust, I had parents who still believed in magic. They are my driving force. In the few years that I've been participating actively in the city's theatre, I had friends who became family, mentors who became guardian angels. Each and every one of them left with me a part of themselves. They gave me the love and support that they did not receive. They saw me as a way to reach their dreams. And this drives me every single day to work on myself, to make myself better than I was yesterday. This continuous hard work and passion resulted in the National Balashri Honor for Theatre and Performance in the year 2016. It is the highest award bestowed upon an Indian citizen under the age of 18. Now, what made me get this award were the small things that not everybody gets. Small things like scheduling rehearsals so that I don't have to skip school, or coming to my house early in the morning to train me before I run off to school, or my parents who sat in that bedroom for hours together as I performed the same piece over and over again and giving me corrections every time just so I can be a better version of myself. Now, these might be like small steps, but if every child that had found its pixie dust was given the same love and support that I received, I wouldn't be the only teen speaker this morning. I would like to conclude with a poem by Sarah Kay that my mom read to me often. It's called If I Should Have a Daughter. If I should have a daughter, instead of mom, she's going to call me Point B. So that way, no matter what happens, at least she can find her way to me. And I'm going to paint the solar system on the backs of her hand. So she has to learn the entire universe before she says, oh, I know that like the back of my hand. And she's going to learn that this life will hit her hard in the face. Wait for her to get back up just so it can kick her in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air. And baby, I tell her, don't keep your nose up in the air like that. I know that trick. I've done it a million times. You're just smelling for smoke so you can follow the trail back to a burning house to find the boy who lost everything in the fire to see if you can save him. But find the boy who lit the fire in the first place to see if you can change him. But I know she will anyway, so instead, I'll always keep an extra supply of chocolates and rain boots nearby, because there's no heartbreak that chocolate can't fix. Well, there are a few heartbreaks that chocolate can't fix, but that's what the rain boots are for. Rain will wash away everything if you let it. I want her to see the world through the underside of a glass-bottom boat, to look through a magnifying glass at the galaxies that exist on the pinpoint of a human mind. Because that's the way my mama taught me. There'll be days like this, my mama said, when you step out of the phone booth and try to fly, and the very people you wanted to save are the ones standing on your cape. When your boots will fill with rain and you'll be up to your knees in disappointment, and those are the very days you have all the more reason to say thank you. Because there's nothing more beautiful than the way the ocean refuses to stop kissing the shore, no matter how many times it's sent away. And baby, I'll tell her, this world is made of sugar. It can crumble so easily, but don't you be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. Baby, I'll tell her, your mama is a warrior, but your papa is a warrior, and you are the girl with small hands and big eyes that never stop asking for more. Remember, that good things come in threes, but so do bad things. And always apologize when you've done something wrong. But don't you ever apologize for the way your eyes refuse to stop shining. Your voice is small, but don't ever stop singing. And when they finally hand you heartbreak, slip war and hatred under your door, and give you handouts at street corners of cynicism and defeat, you tell them that they really ought to meet your mother. Thank you.